Hello everyone. I got a request from a viewer, and I thought, you know what, this is kind of a good tie-in to a rant. I know everybody loves the rants, so it is going to be a rant. But first, a couple of questions for some viewers out there. Number one, I got a question about my feelings on sketch covers. I really don't have an opinion on sketch covers. I like to find young artists because, face it, I would love to have an original Neil Adams. I would love to have an original, McFarland or, something from that, style. But, I can't afford, thousands of dollars for an original piece of work. And I think a sketch cover just kind of takes away from their aura of a comic book artist. But, a lot of artists like to do sketch covers. A lot of people like the sketch covers. I do have a couple of sketch covers. I'll show you what I have. These were just, I happened to be at a place and it was inexpensive, and I thought, you know what, why not? First one I have, and I don't know if I've shown these. The guy said I hadn't shown any sketch covers, so I'll just show a couple. First one I have is by Ali Garza, who comes to Las Vegas quite often. And I got this the first time he came to Vegas. It is a Michonne cover on Walking Dead blank number 109, and I liked it. I thought it was nice. I think I paid $40 for a sketch cover on that. And the next one I have is Chad Hardin, a Harley Quinn on a Zero. He came right before this was even released. He came to a local shop, a small store. I got this here, and that was also $40, and I thought this was really good. Harley Quinn on a Zero by the artist who's doing Harley Quinn. I thought, for the price, can't beat it. And super, super nice guy. Excuse me if I go out of frame here, putting some stuff away. So it's just a couple little sketch covers. I'm not real big on sketch covers. I do like buying original work from younger artists. I'll go to local shows or shows in LA or close by, and I always go to Artist Alley. I look for that young artist who's sitting at the table and has stuff that I like. I just buy a couple of pieces because you can get it relatively cheap, and you never know. And again, something like that, if you like it, who cares what anybody else thinks? Don't look at things. I don't look at things from a value point of view, trying to say, oh, I'll buy it for X amount of money and quadruple my money. With that said, this is a kind of an addition to book grading that I have done several videos on, and is always a firestorm of controversy when I do them. So someone asked me, you have some graded books, why don't you show your graded books? You know what? I don't have a ton of graded books, and I will show you what I have. I tried to get something in every grade all the way down. And I'll show you some things that I have, and then we'll go from there. So if I go out of frame, while I'm pulling these, excuse me. First one I have, Marvel Tales, number 69, from July of 1976, graded CGC 9.8. CGC 9.8. Book number 2, graded book number 2, I should say, is Amazing Spider-Man 250. It is a signature series book. This is signed by Romita Jr. This is a 9.6. Also a 9.6. I have Marvel Feature, number 5. It's a Red Sonja appearance. This is graded 9.6. And this is from also July of 76. Got the old Hot Stuff advertisement on the back. Let's take some of these out here. Next on the list, from June of 76, Champions number 6, 9.6. A cover that I absolutely love, and I'm going to take it out of the bag, is from July of 76. you kind of see a pattern going here. Books that I remember as a kid, or books that remind me of really good times when I was a kid. This is an Our Army at War, number 294. This is graded a 9.6, but I remember the cover as a kid being really, really nice and just kind of drawing me in. It's one of the first books I actually really bought, was this one right here. So I wanted to get that in that condition. So Sergeant Rock 9.6. Book I picked up cheap that I thought was neat again. This is from May of '76. This is Skull the Slayer, number 5, 9.6. So again, as you can see, pattern here, when people sit there and say that I'm not a CGC, I'm a PGX homer, you haven't seen a PGX book yet, have you? No, you have not. Have not seen a PGX book yet. So, go a little faster here. Captain America 135, 9.4. Avengers 98, 9.4. A book from February of '75. Tales of Evil, number 1, 9.4. I just remember the cool cover of that book. Kind of drawn me in. First PGX books. House of Mystery, 253. This is from August of '77. This is a Neil Adams cover. 9.4. One of my cheap eBay finds for cheap money, a Our Army at War number 170 from August of '66, 9.2. Detective Comics starring Batman from August '66, number 354, 9.2. Tales to Astonish, number 83 from 1966, 9.0. Green Lantern 62 from July of '68, 8.5. Green Lantern 71 from 1969, 8.5. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., number 2, 8.5. Daredevil, number 14, from 1966, 8.0. Amazing Spider-Man 64 with Vulture on the cover, from 1968, 7.0. And an Amazing Spider-Man number 59 from April of '68. This is Mary Jane Watson's very first cover, 6.5. So, those were just some quick, that's pretty much the extent of my graded collection. Not tons of books by any stretch of the imagination, as I'm just putting some of these books back in order. With that said, I have now shown you what I have as far as graded books, and I showed you X amount of books, and I had one PGX. So people who sit there and scream and holler about me being a PGX homer, you know, I'm not a PGX homer. One of my last videos I did, and now for the rant, the CGC Rant. One of the last videos I did, we talked about how the grading differentials from CGC over the years has been, 9.2 used to be the benchmark, and then the grades have continuously gone up and up and up. And people sit there and say, no, PGX, they know what they're doing, or CGC knows what they're doing, and they would never do anything like that. And I keep telling people, this is a business. It's about making money. It's about money. everybody knows that the grading standards for companies, especially CGC lately, has been going kind of downhill. A lot of people question the grades, and that's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. It's the market that we're in right now. It is what it is. I'm not sitting here trying to badmouth anybody. I'm just trying to get people to realize that, whether they say they're a third party or grading, whether it's CGC or PGX, it's bad for the hobby because people are in it for the money and not for the love of the hobby, which ultimately hurts the people who love the hobby. Because if there's no money to be made, all the speculators, all the investors are just going to walk away. They don't give a crap about the characters. They don't care about the storylines. They don't care about what it meant when they bought the books at 7-Eleven, like that Sergeant Rock that I showed everybody. And so I kept telling people, and people are like, no, it's great for the hobby. It's going to be great for the hobby. Okay, we disagree on that, but that's an opinion that you can have. And I'm not going to argue with your opinion. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it, like I always say. But when I did that last video and I talked about how grades are going up, it went 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8. I told people, you're going to see a lot of 9.9s hit the market. Because where else are you going to go from 9.8? You're going to go 9.9. Look at videos of people who get books back from CGC and look how angry they get. Oh, I got a 9.6 on this book. 6-7 years ago I was at a show and I was talking to a guy who worked for CGC, and they were really pushing the comic grading and getting people to try to do that stuff. And he said, look, this is a way for people to know when the books, and they say it's 9.2, it's a 9.2. And it's encapsulated, and everybody's going to have, the peace of mind knowing they have a 9.2. And he said 9.4s are going to be almost impossible to get because 9.2 is the standard. But Overstreet goes by, it's as high as it goes in the grading book, 9.2. That's our standard. It's like a BGS and baseball cards for like a 9.5. That was the gold standard. Was if you got a 9.2 from CGC, you had yourself a gem book, and it was fantastic. And he told me, oh yeah, 9.4s will be tough, 9.6s will be even tougher, 9.8s are near impossible, you'll never see a 9.9, you'll never see a 10.0 because these books come from the secondary market and you can't take one off the press and get a 9.9 because there's always going to be something wrong with it, ultimately, whether it's a little wrinkle, a little crease, a little bend, a little printer mark, something is going to keep it from getting the 9.9s. Okay. 9.2s became the standard. Then 9.4s became the standard, then 9.6s became the standard, now 9.8s are all over the place. So I told people, now you're going to see a ton of 9.9s and you're going to start seeing 10s because there's nowhere else for this market to go. CGC wants to keep their people happy, they want to keep their business flowing. How do you do that? You throw out the high grades to big dealers or people that send in a lot of books, and you make them happy so they continue to send the books in. CGC is a business, they want to make money. That's all they care about. They don't care about the integrity of the industry. They care about putting money in their pocket. That's why they say, we're not collectors, we're just third-party, investors. People badmouth other companies because the money that big dealers have invested in CGC has to come back to them somehow. Whether it's advertisement, which they do in the overstreets, which you see all the time, or at the comic shows where I only sell CGC books, and they will go out of their way to badmouth PGX. It's on YouTube, it's on boards, it's everywhere. People are starting to realize, you know what, maybe they're not as bad as everybody's saying they are. Maybe there's something else to the story. So when I did that video, I looked online and I found 143 CGC 9.9s. 143 books that had the grade of 9.9 CGC. Okay. That video was just a couple of months ago when I did that. I looked online today. There was close to 600 9.9s. One seller calls himself PGC Mint. Has a stack of 9.9s and some 10s of older books. Late Bronze Age books. Some X-Men he had on there that were 9.9s. A couple of 10s? Really? And you're telling me that he doesn't have something going on? That it's just the luck of the draw that he's sending all these books and he has probably 120 9.9 sitting on his site on eBay, demanding getting huge money, and there's no standard for that. There's no one raises an eyebrow at that, you know, if I sent every book I have in my collection, you know, this is a portion of my collection. It's a small portion of the collection, but it's, you know, you kind of get an idea of what I have. I wouldn't get that many 9.9s, and I would send in thousands of books, because a 9.9 is impossible to get. Well, it's not impossible now because everybody wants them, because that's where the market has gone. It was that way in baseball cards. It's that way in coins. It is now going that way in comic books. I can look at every comic book, and you can see things that on a raw graded book would mark down, but they grade out at great grades, 9.4, 9.6, 9.2, because you get a percentage of the money that you grade the book for. We'll just use this as an example. It's not an expensive book, it's 9.4, but let's say I'm grading this book and they charge you based on the value of the book. Okay, if I'm going to charge you a 9, if I can give you a 9.2 and get $500 to grade it, or I can give you a 9.6 and get $1,200 to grade it, what do you think I'm going to give you? Everything is money. Everything is money in this industry now. There are some of the old school collectors who like to collect. I will be opening up a shop. Yes. A small indoor swap meet type place that I'm just going to set some stuff up, and if I sell anything, I sell things. If I don't, I don't care. I love comics. I love the fans. I love the true collectors. You can sit there and talk about your heroes and, you know, who's better, or what you know, Spider-Man's better, what Batman's better. That is what it's about. That is what collecting's about. Not about how much money I can make off of it. So, you know, I know I'm going to get tons of, you know, emails and notes saying, oh, you're such an evil guy and you're an ass and you don't know what you're talking about and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead. I don't care. You just have to open your eyes and look at what's in front of you. Don't take my word for it. Look at the market. Look at the trend. Trends. Trends tell you everything. If there's 200 9.9s 1 month and 5 months later there's 600 of them, there's more hitting the market because there's more being graded that way. There's a reason behind that. There's a reason behind that. Open your eyes. See the reasons. Again, just a little video. Hope I answered the 2 questions. My graded books, not a lot, but that's what I have. And then my 2 sketch covers. Again, you know, these are my opinions. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to disagree with them. It doesn't, you know, I lose no sleep over, you know, whether or not someone doesn't like a video or not. I enjoy doing this, and, you know, I'm sorry my videos aren't as frequent as they should be. I would sit there and say I'm going to do a video quickly, but I don't know when my next video is going to be. I'm going to try to do videos, but we've heard that before. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you appreciate the rant, and I hope you appreciate the passion in which I love this industry and I love this hobby, because I wouldn't do these videos if I didn't. And I appreciate the good support that I receive from the true collectors and the true fans out there. If you have anything, drop me a line. If not, until next time, I hope you liked the video. But if you didn't, as always, nothing I can do for you. Have a great day.